Oh boy. Here we go.
All right, you drama lovers. I've got some syrup so rich for you that it might just give you the diabetes. For nearly a year now, this former content creator has been harassing members of the Black Desert Online community. The person in question used to go by the name, quote unquote, titty honker with 2 D's instead of T's. In game, you may know him as Give Me Snipe with a 1 instead of an I on YouTube. Prologue recently forced him to change his name to Bolathius, or however you pronounce it. He made a video trying to sell a narrative that this is somehow related to me. We see this all the time. Someone malicious receives a consequence for their actions, and then they claim to be a victim. This victimhood mentality drives a person and people like him to spread blatant lies or slander about the person that it comes about regarding situations that they either clearly know nothing about or have never experienced themselves. They do this to sell narratives that make his actions that are malicious seem somewhat harmful. His stories are inconsistent. Every time he tells them, a detail or two will change. This is a common mistake one makes when they are lying about the details that they don't understand, or trying to fabricate recounts of situations that they never experienced. You don't have to take my word for it, though. You only have to listen to his. A common MO of his would be to get killed in PvP or escape a deadly situation in PvP and then spam you in DMs for an hour or more with unhinged whispers. There are countless, and I can't honestly put it all into the video. There are countless times where he's done this to me and to random other people and to members of my guild. I can only imagine this probably happened to people all over the community. Mind you, the only reason he's doing this was because I found him on our show one day, EV'd and channel swap, and then he spammed me for an hour in DMs. That's it. I don't actually know this guy other than that. That was the first time I ever encountered him. And ever since then, this is what he's been doing. And here he is in my stream chat complaining about me PvPing on our show. I didn't even read these messages until today. Chris deleted them out of my chat before I ever saw them, so that's really funny.
It'd be funny if it weren't so pathetic. No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.
In his videos, he will move voice clips around from moments that are sometimes days or even months apart. This is a technique that someone uses to gaslight or manipulate an audience to believing a false narrative. The funny thing about the truth is that it requires no manipulation. You can just show someone the full content or an extent of the circumstance and allow them to draw their own conclusions. I don't need to tell you that this is a disingenuous and miserable pile of filth of a person. Their gooner content will do that for you. I'll present you with the facts, show you the proof, and let you decide for yourself. Let's start with this. After months of constant griefing, I had finally had enough. Apparently, he'd been griefed for months. Let's see. It is true. I did flag on every Kinsworn player I have seen in the past 2 weeks. Wow. So you were flagging on people, and then you got griefed. That's crazy. I wonder why you were getting griefed. But we both know it's been more than the past 2 weeks. It's been more something like maybe the past year. But we'll go over that in a moment. I did talk outrageous trash to him, and his guild reciprocated every act he had bestowed upon me. So you ran your mouth, and then your body cast the check. You dished some shit out that you couldn't handle. That's crazy. And you're a victim? I just had an idea, just like a wild thought. Maybe just stop talking shit. Stop talking shit. People stop bothering you. You ever think of that? Crazy. You blame me for your name being changed. This is how rent-free I exist in your head. You attribute your TOS violation and the fact that your account was actioned by Prologue to me. Your dumb name in-game was Titty Honker. You spend several hours a day in server and in general chat harassing players who either don't know you or have done you no harm. You don't think it's possible that someone just, I don't know, saw your stupid ass name and reported it? You don't think it's likely that someone you've offended at some point just decided to submit a ticket? I can tell you with great certainty that I am aware of absolutely no one who reported your name. I rather enjoyed calling you Shitty Honker. And I'm sad now that I have to refer to you by a different name that makes you sound somewhat like a person instead of just a talking farm animal. However, the chats where you make unhinged comments attempting to weaponize the tragic suicide of a player who I've never met, do not know, was absolutely reported. It deserves to be reported, and that form of insane disinformation is harmful to anyone who had to survive a suicide from a loved one. It is truly the position of an immature child to think that it is funny or cute or just cheeky to bring up the death of a community member so casually, as if it is something to joke about, or to weaponize against another person to slake your piss-poor behavior. I will, however, take the time to elaborate what I do know about the pillow punch situation before we go on about your disgusting accusations. A quick Google search about pillow punch will reveal this post from 6 years ago. This was circa 2018-2019. This is the exact time frame I had stopped playing Black Desert Online, and I was on World of Warcraft enjoying the Legion expansion as it concluded its story leading into the battle for Azeroth. And then, after that, we went to Guild Wars 2, all the way through its release of the Icebrood Saga. Back then, the guilds that the Hunters were feuding with constantly were Baka and ITC. Baka was a guild that frequently harassed players of all types through racism, sexism, and doxing. ITC was an 8chan guild that had a white supremacist manifesto right on their guild page in-game. We fought them day in, day out until we eventually left the game. I personally still love BDO, but my members wanted to play World of Warcraft and Guild Wars 2, so that's what I did. At that time, when I was still playing Black Desert Online, these guys were spamming my name, my real-life, full government name in world chat, day in, day out, for hours at a time. They would post my address, they would post my phone number, all that stuff was out there. Eventually, I came back to BDO because the steam around the games that I was playing, which was Guild Wars 2 at the time, started to die down with the guild, and it's what I genuinely wanted to play. This was before I ever turned on a live stream, and I wasn't too well known. This is also why I haven't seriously partaken in Node Wars or the Siege War ever since. The scene is very toxic. It sucks, and I find it to be the least fun part of the game. It requires you to work with the guilds that have members exactly like Baka and ITC as I described above. If you like it, good for you. I don't, and that's that. When I returned to the game and I heard about the pillow punch situation, it broke my heart. I said that this may not have happened if I was still around playing the game and occupying these people's times. I have talked about that many times over the years during live streams, and my community both inside and outside the Hunters are aware of this. I don't know this exclusively, but if you scroll down to the bottom of this post, your proof is right here. A member of Baka is posting on this thread, thinking that their antics were still funny, despite this person's tragic loss. And wouldn't you know, it's a suspended account. Surprise. What a shock. I didn't know this guy personally. What I did know is that he probably had a family. A father, a mother, a brother, or a sister who misses them every day. A family that grieves the black hole of the loss of one of their own loved ones due to no fault of their own. I promised I would pick the fight back up and continuing what I had always done. Ever since my return, I have. I made a reputation for myself over the years for going after and occupying the times of some of the most toxic players in our community. We bullied the bullies. I did this so they didn't have the available time to focus on someone less capable of handling that type of toxicity or cyberbullying or abuse they are so adamant about inflicting upon others. When they come after me, I have a lot going on in my life where I really don't give a shit. My life is awesome. I know who I am and I know what I'm about. Players and GMs of guilds who have had no one to turn to in the past, turn to me. Before PA actually started moderating their game, they would come to me for help. You may be watching this and I might have described you. You either decided to love me or hate me depending on which side of the sword you fell on. You were either at the handle, guiding my swing, at the sides, getting cleaved as you came into contact, or at the pointy end receiving the ouchies. And for those of you guys on the side, you probably had no idea. You likely had no idea while we were fighting, you were just in a guild that we were at war with, and you happened to get caught in the collateral. And then you might have carried a bias on from there. Who knows? That's just speculation. This is an MO that I have always undertaken in the online games I've played, because some small parts of these communities can be extraordinarily toxic. So before you continue going on about Pillow Punch, a player that I have never met and you have never met, not only are you disingenuous, but you are behaving in the exact same way that the toxic motherfucker who did this to him did. You are taking harmful actions and then declaring that the other person is responsible for them. And that is genuinely poison. Now that serious time is over and that unpleasantness is behind us, let's see if we can lighten the mood. 4v1. I wonder who's griefing. You dumb mother. This is Honglin Base, and the guy whose grind you were spent 20 minutes grinding on top of and griefing was Delphire. His account is less than 3 months old. October 3rd, 2024. Your account, on the other hand, is 6 years old. Wow. Was he griefing you? That's crazy. Why would he grief you on Calpheon 2 of all places? How could he grief you on Calpheon 2? Why would you be at Honglin Base instead of him?
You went full retard, man. Never go full retard.
But that's not the first time you did that, is it? That was the third time you did that. The first time you did that, I caught you and I killed you until you ran. And since you want to show your little PvP montage clips, I can do the same thing. But when I kill you, it's not going to be with 5 people on me. It's just going to be me.
It's not dumb.
It's just dumb.
Why is it dumb?
I don't know.
Okay.
A few moments later. A few inches later.
Ah, that was fun. But wait, there's more. What's this guilty scene right here? Wait. Could it be? Could this be right now? In my video? When I'm sitting there for an hour just watching my guildmate grind and chatting with him, and I decided, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna grind in the route next to him. And then Titty Honker, thinking that he's gonna grind faster than me, tried to grind over me, but failed? There's no way. That's not possible, right? But it is. Well, that was embarrassing. Hopefully, this next clip is a little more impressive. Oh, yeah, the classic 2v1. Yeah. Oh, I make sure that in my montages, I always outnumber the enemies because it always looks better for the person. Like, here's the crazy thing. You can pick any moment in time. You're doing a montage, it's on YouTube, you can pick any moment you want. This is the one that you picked. This is the best of your best. You fighting a player, 2 versus 1. Okay, let's run it. Did you miss? Yeah, you missed. And that's really impressive. I'm glad that Corbs was there to carry you through that damage. But I did fight Corbs one-on-one because unlike you, he had the stones to actually try and fight. Let's see how that went. Cass, I can handle this guy. You want to just chill? I can. Oh, I didn't say it on Discord. Cass, I can handle this guy. If it's like one-on-one, just let me have him. I know he's got friends nearby or whatever, but just let me just play with him. I prefer it that way. Corbs was actually being pretty chill after this. He did ask for some 1v1s, which got interrupted by his own guildmates. Let's go towards the road so we can actually have a better fight. Oh, the desync. So I appreciate your evasion build. I could tell that you were a hybrid evasion DR build, but mostly evasion from when we were fighting earlier. As soon as I switched on the accuracy, it became a much more fair fight, I think, for the two of us. You can one combo me, I can one combo you. Bro, you're not good enough to fight there. Give me snipe. Even you're griefing your own member who asked for 1v1s? That's wild, bro. That is crazy. Your own buddy, your own teammate and you're running to the water? Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way you're running. I can't believe it. Where are we going, pal? Oh my goodness, bro. What a cringer. Oh, by the way, congratulations on your forced name change. What happened to your content creator title? If you don't mind my asking. You're listening to every word I'm saying. It's crazy. Ain't no way, man. Corbs, good 1v1s, man. I'm still out here if you want to keep going. Yeah, I know, right? Don't worry. It's not for his like what? I don't know. I'm not really worried about it. Oh man. Oh, you bro. If you had iframed right when you got up, that would have been an easy dub for you. What are we doing here, bud? What are we doing here?
Rise from your grave.
Our 1v1 turned into a classic 3v1. Huh. It went about as well as you'd expect. Yeah. Yeah, yap, indeed. It's probably your specialty. I think those are actually the only 3 letters you know how to type in succession, because everything you say pretty much just sounds like that. Spoilers. We don't want to get into this part just yet. You might be thinking to yourself, Zeroden, in the last clips, you guys were flagging on each other. Are you guys at war now? Well, I'm glad to explain to you that I have those answers, and they're hilarious. So let's get into that first. You see, since he's been ruining the grind for people who have done him no wrong and don't even know him really, I figure he wouldn't mind having his grind messed with. Be it that the players that he's been messing with don't really have the ability to fight back, I did wonder how he would fare against the target with a little more damage at their disposal. He fared about as well as I expected. It wasn't my intent to annoy his group, just him. You can imagine my delight when they all decided to collect some hands. Estella wasn't too happy about the situation. That doesn't come as a surprise to me, though, considering the last time we spoke. Here's some additional backstory for you. Estella and I used to be friends until she threw a deck my way and got upset when I wouldn't remove it. This happened when she was third-partying a fight on behalf of a guild called Insomnia. Insomnia at the time thought it would be cute to start loosely throwing around the word pedophile towards the GM of Excalibur, Richter. Richter and I have been friends for years now, so naturally when he had a 4-guild alliance bearing down on him, I was happy to help. I decked that guild, and when her guild decked me because of it, knowing that Insomnia was actively and falsely trying to label Richter as a pedophile, all bets were off. She made some hilarious comments to me, which I actually pinned in our DMs, where she said, "Hope you don't regret this." Then said something about bringing her alliance out for me. I laughed and said, "Then you won't have an issue when I bring mine." Then she said something to the effect of, yeah, that's not going to happen. And this is a direct quote, because I won't fight on your terms. That last statement in particular brings me joy, considering what happens next. While I was having this 2v1, Cass was having a 2v1 of her own. Behold the results. Which brings us to this moment, when he took what I said and manipulated the context to make it sound different. Remember, I had a 2v1 there, and Cass had a 2v1. That was the 2v1 that I was talking about. This instance happens afterwards, and he moved my words from that day prior to this moment here. Let's watch. I killed them both until they swapped, which was even funnier to me because then they volunteered for an ass beating and they died. Ooh. Yeah. You see, I kept the receipts. Lies only work if I don't. So, eat shit. And now we're back to this. As you can see, we're outnumbered as the fight continues. They'll continue calling for more people with the intention of eventually overwhelming us with numbers. That's absolutely fine if you don't really want to fight. The reality is, this guild does exactly what they complain about. If you kick their ass, they go to town. But if they can swarm you down, they want you to sit on the node and get camped by 2 to 3 times your numbers so they can feel like they've accomplished something. Nothing's keeping me there. I have absolutely no problem with coming back later and murdering you in roughly equal groups until you repeat that pattern. And that's exactly what I did. And that's exactly why you undecked. Now, as you can see here, there's actually a lot of red in their feet. I love this. Do you know why I love this? Do you think this is my gimmick? I make no bones about the fact that I am a classic gamer fan. I love the old school games. One of my favorites is Castlevania. And the soundbite that bothers you oh so much is literally a rip from Castlevania Symphony of the Night. And it's just some shit that I threw in there for fun. Sorry it bugs you. Don't be so sensitive next time. I don't know what to tell you, bud. This shit right here tells me that it bothers you. And because it bothers you, I'm emboldened to keep doing it. Wow, look at that 0 kill montage. Whew. What a gamer. Is this it? You're in a whole squad of your people and this is it? This is like 2 minutes of you shooting at people and getting no kills. Why would you... Bro, again, you're cherry picking these moments. You're literally selecting them. What were you showcasing there? That you can shoot a gun at range? Oh, wow, what a freaking hero. Bro, this isn't a live stream. You can pick whatever moment you want, and that's the one you chose. You spent 4 minutes shooting at like 2 players. Sorry, not 4 minutes. Let's be real here. It's like maybe a good minute shooting at a bunch of players who are crowd controlled by somebody else and landing 1 kill. That's crazy. That is a crazy bad montage. It's almost impressive how bad that is. Mind you, I want you to observe the minimap in this situation. Just look how many you see. There's not a lot of them there, right? It's just 1 or 2 of them. I think at this point in time, I'd actually gone back to town because my microphone was having problems and I was trying to figure it out. I did figure out the microphone issue. I did eventually. But a completely different topic. His team is in the field chasing around one guy, and he's out here by himself. I think they might be upset. I think they might be upset, guys. Or is it more likely that your dumbass team is chasing one guy in a freaking wheat field while you went around like an imbecile in the freaking river? You're doing the same shit that we're doing, you dumb fuck. And you're mad at us. We're upset? I don't think we're upset. I think we're just killing the only available target. Good play, buddy. You swung across the river. I think that's really... Can I know? Why include this part where you're just climbing rocks? It's a freaking YouTube video! I told my guild to spawn town. This was the only proper GVG you got with Kinsworn. It ended in 10 minutes. That's crazy. Let's put up those numbers. Let's see where your score was before that fight. And let's see where your score was after that. Good job. You can kill something. Well, I mean, I say you like the royal you, because like your name isn't actually on this feed anywhere, which is weird. Did you only get like 1 or 2 kills that whole fight? That's wild. Anyway, I digress. But that's not really the point of any of this. Zeroden. Hi, it's me, the animal, as you put it. No, that's not how I put it. It's just what you are. You are an animal. Specifically, a farm animal. Again, not really sure if you're a pig or a chicken or some kind of weird chicken pig mutant that just is just like both of them at once. It's not really delicious to eat. It's not cute to look at. It's just like this thing that exists. That's you. I can only gauge you by your behavior, right? That's the only thing I have to gauge you by. The lying, the manipulation, the harassment, that's all I have to judge you by. And you claim that you're being pushed in this. You say, you pushed and pushed and pushed me until I lashed out at you. No, you dumb fuck. I never attack first. Unless you're on Arsha, I am strictly a retaliatory entity. I've always been that way. I don't deck guilds first, and I don't bother people first, and I sure as don't make videos about one person first. This video response is a continued escalation of your actions. It's clear to me that you're upset. You've lost at your own game and tried to play the victim. You're not a hero. You're someone whose pride is wounded and is trying to find good feelings in harming others. BDO is not a replacement for proper therapy. If you're feeling bad about the game or your encounters on it, you should either change the way you approach the game to achieve better results, or just start being kind to people. It's really that easy. You're doomed to continue creating the negative circumstances that surround you. I'll be the first person to tell you that all you have to do to engage in PvP is just enjoy PvP. You don't have to create some weird narrative or target individuals or any of that bullcrap. You can just go out in Arsha and PvP and not be weird about it. But the not be weird challenge is not something that I foresee you being successful in. And that's sad. I don't want you to behave like an animal. I want you to behave like a civilized person. But I don't have high hopes for you. Because ever since we've met, you have said the most deranged and unhinged shit on this game that I can think of. You fall right in line with some of the scum that this game has generated over the years. I hope that you find a way to evolve from this. I hope that you grow, truly, but I don't think you will. I don't plan to keep making videos about this guy. He's obviously clout chasing. This is a video with literally my name in the title. I didn't really want to make this one. I ultimately decided to do it because I think it's very necessary that toxic individuals are identified in the community, as you never know who you are really dealing with. I firmly believe in the concept of reform. And this is probably just some kid doing edgy crap because he thinks it's funny. It's only funny until you start heading down the road of making harmful comments that can trigger and unpack someone's trauma. This is a video game. You don't need an excuse to PvP. You can just PvP because you enjoy it. I kill you when I see you because I enjoy PvP. I think it's funny that you get upset. If it hurts your feelings, consider changing the way you engage with others so that you are able to take what you dish out. This last comment right here, it is my sincere prayer that I'm the last person you hurt in this game. You're not clever. At this point, I've already talked about the pillow punch situation. You bringing it up is nothing but slander. It's a complete lie. It's a falsification. It's a discredit towards you, and it is harmful to people who have survived suicides. I sincerely hope, not for myself, I'm a very mentally strong and emotionally balanced individual. I hope for you that you grow from this and stop this shit. If you don't like me, you just don't like me. You don't have to create some crazy bullshit. You can say, I just don't like him. I just don't like his face. That's okay. You can do that because I think you're dumb as shit. And I don't need a reason to think you're dumb as shit other than the things that you say. I don't need to make up a lie. I could just show you why, via this video, why I think you're a dumbass. You got me? I hope you learned. The funniest part for me was seeing this message at the end of the video and then it automatically linking me into this.
Can your vagina be too wet? 100%.
Homeboy calling me toxic and making a montage of killing AFK fishers with a video about vaginas. Very weird.